Okay, so this morning I want to talk about a new spreadsheet that I've created. It's not entirely new. In fact, I may have featured it on some of my videos before, but didn't go into it too deeply because it was pretty raw. And what I've done is I've created a spreadsheet that lets me create teams by division. Now, we know in MLB The Show, when we go to assemble our teams or manage our teams, if you will, we can use a filter where we can do a lot of things. We can filter by card types. We can filter by teams. We can do all kinds of things, but we cannot filter by division. And so when you get a mission where you need to get so many PXP points by division, AL East, AL Central, AL West, etc., you pretty much have to go through each team that's in that division and pick the cards. So what I did originally is I created a spreadsheet that used the same database pretty much that I use in my lineup and spreadsheet, or my lineup and depth chart. Not all of it. I only use up to this part right here where hitter. I don't take any of the stats because I'm not really interested in the stats. I'm just interested in the cards themselves. And also it uses the exact same inventory. I just copy and paste my inventory over that I had before. And you can see I have in the depth chart, the lineup and depth chart spreadsheet. It's the same database. I don't go through and recapture that again. And here's the database that I use. And as you can see, I use up to hitter. And then I've added column M that adds in the division that the team is in. Now some of these you'll see are zeros right here, and that's because they are free agents. And free agents, of course, are not in a division. But I have the free agent cards there in case I want to look at those to see if I want to use those as well. I haven't yet, but that doesn't mean I won't in the future. So let me talk about now what I've done. This is what I'm using. Now this is what I've done. I've created this lineup spreadsheet, or this is the tab for the lineup. And what I can do is over here on column B is I can select the division I want, NL Central. And you'll see the teams change. It adds in the position players and it picks the top position players that I have for this division. And then it throws the rest in the bench. And then I have over, starting with column P, bench prospects. And the reason I do this is because I'm only picking the very top card. That doesn't mean that's the card I want to use. For example, a catcher, it has Jason Kendall. Well, he's a 99. He's the best catcher I have. But what if I want to use Giovanni Soto instead? It put him on the bench, but I may want to use him. What about if I want to use Wilson Contreras? You know, there's different options here for me to use. And this is just a suggestion, of course, but it makes it easy to go through and then just pick the cards that I want to use. I have it all here on one shot, one screen, and I can go through and pick the cards that I want for that team. Of course, the position players, this section over here is just a suggestion, but it gives me all the other cards that are available for that division. And if I switch, let's switch to AL West. Again, boom, it changes it. And you can see it automatically. Now, how does this work? What have we done? Well, we're using the database to look at all the cards that are in the show. And we're looking at just my inventory. And on the lineup sheet, that is just my inventory. That's not all the cards. So you ask, okay, so what if there's a card I don't have that I might want to use? Well, let's take a look. I have over here individual raw data that has all the cards, and it has whether I own them or not. That's right here, this little column right here, the X's. Those are for the cards I own. So let's take a look. Ivan Rodriguez is the top card for the NL West, but then there's Mike Napoli. Well, what if I want to use Mike Napoli instead? And then we can go down. Let's see, another card I don't have. That's all the way down to Corey Lee. Let's go back and let's change to the NL East. Okay, so here we have Mike Piazza as a catcher. And then what other catchers do we have? Gary Carter, a 96. That's a really good card. JT Realmuto. That's another really good card. Joe Torre. That's another really good card. So I can use any of those cards, but they're all right here, and I can pick them without having to search through a bunch of material. Let's go over to the catcher card. Is there a card I don't have? Absolutely there is, right here, the very top one. Francisco Alvarez. I don't have that card. It's a 99 Future Stars. So I can go to the website for the community market. I can see how much that card is, or I can go to the show. I can look that card up and see how that card is earned and see if I can do that. And if I can't earn it, well, then I can always buy it. So that's what I'm looking at, and that's how it works. So let's go to this screen here, the teams. These are all the teams and the abbreviation for them and what division they are in. And that's how the database assigns the divisions for these teams. It looks at the teams tab and it looks up the Rangers, what division they're in, and then it puts it there. Okay, and let's look at the next tab. It's the UIG. Now this is the unique identifier that I have. And you can also see I have positions with the position IDs. You can see I have team names again, their ID, their divisions, the series of the cards that are out. And then over here, this is how I assembled the unique identifier. And when you look at the unique identifier, you can see that right here. This is not the identifier that downloads with the database. This is the one I put together. And if you've watched my lineup and depth chart spreadsheet videos, you'll see why I do that. Okay, so now let's go to division. So now this is the division that I've chosen on the lineup. These are all the cards on that, and if I have them or not from in alphabetical order and what team they're on. I use this as kind of a just to pull and sort the different things I want to sort out. For example, in the next one, H sort. These are my hitters. Now, there's all the hitters, there's all the players. These are the hitters I own. This is their OVR, and then I sort them out. And then this is the unique identifier by rank, and then it pulls out the player, and if I've used them, I sort them out by assignment, by position, and then if they're in this list in the top, then what it does is it will put a number here, and if they aren't in the list in the top, actually the lineup, it will say yes, because I want to put them on the bench. And so then I have here the players that I put on the bench. Here, these are the players I own, and this tells me if they're a hitter or a pitcher. Let's go to P sort right here. This is the pitcher sort. Now I use the players owned and the hitter here to pick out the pitchers. So if it says false, that means it's a pitcher. And so I'll use that, and I grab the pitchers that I own here. And again, I'm working just with the unique identifiers. I sort them, and then I have their positions, their names, and then if I have them as an assignment, or it says bench, but it's really doesn't mean anything. And then I sort them out by starting pitcher, relief pitcher, and closing pitcher. And then when you look at the lineup, you can see I have over here my pitchers. I have my top 5 pitchers, my top 5 starters right here. Then I have my relievers there. And then I have the 2 setup and my closing pitchers there. And that's how I assemble it. So this is the spreadsheet I've just created to help me create teams by division, so I can have a full team to complete these missions. That's it. That's all I wanted to highlight today. It's really quick. It's really easy. These are just some of the things you can do with the API download and the data that MLB The Show offers us. So, as always, I say, remember, this is just a game. All of this stuff is just for fun. I don't take it seriously, but I do have a good time with it. And I think you should have a good time with it too. Have fun, play smart, play wise, play good, and have a good time. And that's it. So have a good day.